What I realized when I came out of the conservative closet is that white liberals are infatuated. I'm talking about absolutely smitten by black people. They will do just about anything for black folks. I mean, I'm talking about if you ask them to jump, they will fly. If you ask them to crawl, they will use no hands and just slither like a damn serpent. They will do whatever black folks say, so long as those black folks are servicing their egos. Or in other words, so long as those black people are still on the Democratic plantation. Right now, it's a different form of control than what you saw with the Democratic plantation back in the 1800s, and then in Jim Crow in the 1900s. What we now see is a coverted way of essentially gaining mental and emotional control of black folks. I'm with you. I stand with you. I fight with you. It's the mentality that Lyndon Baines Johnson had back in the 60s, which is going from one of the most known racists in American politics to all of a sudden waking up one day with a revelation and realizing, oh no, we have to do so much for these poor black people. The very same man who was opposing integration and stood with the likes of a George Wallace was all of a sudden, oh, black people, we have done so wrong. Oh, bad, bad white people, please forgive us. And all of that was for nothing more than vote. It was for a vote. Now, when it comes to the political side, they pander to black folks on the left. They pander to quote unquote people of color in order to get their vote. Simple as that. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen on both sides. I'm just saying it's an outright pandering. That's why they have twerkers on stage at a rally in order to get black folks vote. And foolishly enough, y'all went for it. So I guess they proved it right. They proved the theory. It was indeed fact that you can throw Meg Thee Stallion up there twerking, and that would resonate with 93% of black women. But I digress. We've now found ourselves in a place where, whether it's Hispanic folk as well as white liberals coming out and saying, how dare you black people for not standing behind these illegal aliens? How dare you not stand behind your brothers and sisters of color? And so here they go again, looking to control, because as soon as you step out of line, you get to finally see their true colors. Once I came out that conservative closet, I realized, oh, they love you until you no longer service their agenda. That's what this is about. And so that being said, I want to get into a compilation, but starting us off with this video here of, exactly this phenomenon. So let's get into it.
To my black brothers and sisters out there that are the ones that are posting all this, oh, we just gonna mind our business. And I saw somebody earlier making t-shirts of like a group of like 6 black people, black men and women sitting on a bench, texting on phones while the country is burning up behind them. Let me explain something to you guys. Let me explain something to you. When they get done with the brown people, they'll be coming after you. And if you don't think that's true.
Now, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Because this is a threat that they used even when, some of us, rational, sane-minded black folks in America, voted for DJT. And I happen to be what they call a tether. So other black people in America look at me and they say, oh, he's a foreigner. Yeah, I just happen to be a citizen of the United States and somebody who loves this country with my heart, soul, and mind because of everything that it has afforded me in my life. The life that it has allowed for me to live. I mean, what would my life have been if I was raised in my country of origin? Not what it is today. I would have still done what I needed to do and, made a way. But again, I'm forever grateful for this opportunity. But here's the thing. Even I am going nowhere because this entire quote unquote fight is on the basis of legal and illegal. Those who came here who were not properly vetted and those who were. It's not about Hispanics. It's not about Hispanic Americans or Mexican Americans. It's about illegal versus legal. Simple as that. And now we see due to what's going on in LA right now, that the peaceful way is not going to work with these people. It's not. You know, they have been co-opted by this Marxist regime. They are going out with a fight. And so if that's what they want, then that's what they're going to get. But let us continue.
You got another motherfucker thing coming. This is bigger than you, okay? Because let me explain another thing to you. You sit back and watch millions of brown people be kidnapped and removed from this country. When they do come after you, there's going to be nobody left to stand up for you. And when they're coming after you, how are you going to feel when people are sitting on the sideline like, oh, we just going to mind our business? All this other dumb shit. Man, no, it's not the time for that. Power to the people. It's time to come together.
Yo, Marshall Mathers, Marshall Scathers, Marshall Blabbers. I was okay, I'm going to give it that. Marshall Blabbers needs to chill. He's not Eminem, he's Skittles. You understand me? This guy right here is he's a panderer. You know, what's new? White liberals and pandering go together like chocolate and peanut butter. This is unbelievable. So yeah, we have this compilation. I've not gotten into it. I saw the first few seconds and I thought to myself, you know what? I think this will be interesting insight. Back to the white liberal. Again, they are the most co-opted and they're the ones who are they're the puppet masters, if you really want to look at it, right? Because they're the ones who are the least affected by the policy that they push. Like, I grew up in the Bay Area, and high school, I got into a Catholic private school. And one of the things we were told early on as the few black students on campus was that there's some folks here who've never been in a classroom with a black person before, which was wild to me, but, you know, oh well, whatever. And it was fascinating because I mean, I was pandered to and things of that nature. But as they grew older and went off to college, etc., I saw the radicalization of them becoming extremely liberal. Most of them become extremely liberal. And this is in the Bay Area. So this is where they make woke people, right? And I remember even having friends where I couldn't even joke about certain stuff. Even me as a black man who they were trying to pander to, as soon as I started kind of showing my true colors, I was basically an enemy. So it's like they want to dictate the policy. They want to dictate all these things and feel righteous and altruistic and like, oh, it's a white savior complex, while at the same time not actually dealing with the very thing that they're creating. Right. My pops was telling me about this. I believe it is either Mark Benioff or Reid Hoffman, like the founder of LinkedIn or the founder of Salesforce, he's pouring millions of dollars into this woke nonsense. But when it comes to his own neighborhood, they try to create a law in this wealthy part of California, or at least in California, which would also affect wealthy neighborhoods, to say you can build more than 2 houses or more than 1 house on your property. And he was one of the most vehement opposers of this bill because he believed it would bring down the property value. Oh, we already have enough people here. We don't need any more. We have 10 neighbors. We don't want any more people up here. Interesting. But yet you'll create policy to where everybody else has to deal with folks shooting up in the middle of the streets, taking a doo-doo outside your damn house out there in San Francisco. You'll push those policies? Really? Okay, I get it. It's only when it affects you. Got you. Let us continue.
You know what's so funny? Everyone who felt comfy enough to out themselves that they voted for Trump back in January, they're dead silent right now.
Yeah, because this is literally everything we have been waiting for. The reason we're look, Stephanie, the reason why we're silent right now is because this is everything we voted for. Everything we voted for. This is it. We're watching in glee and enthusiasm.
Apprehending them and taking them away from their families and their jobs and the lives they've built here doesn't bother you, then you're a bad person. And I don't want to be your friend. And I don't care about your opinion.
I say this in the most...
Do y'all notice? I was waiting for number 3. Do y'all notice the age range also of these white liberal women? Who also happen to be, according to statistics, white liberal women are the most mentally ill. They say like 53% of them are mentally ill. It's incredible numbers. incredible. And 88% of them, according to themselves, would classify as unhappy and miserable. So not only mentally disturbed, but they're also very miserable people, generally speaking.
Respectful way possible as a first generation American whose parent is not from this country. If you got here and you got papers and you agree with what's going on right now, fuck you.
That's literally the point. Ask your parents truly how it feels to know that they had to work their ass off to get to the United States legally just to watch somebody else come in here, get a free hotel, get some money in their pocket, etc. I'm the first one to come here. I mean, me and my folks, my brother, we're the first ones here. There was no handout. There was no free hotel. There was no getting posted up at the luxury hotel. There was none of that. There was no food stamp given out, $15,000, $30,000 on a card. None of that was there. My folks had to build brick by brick. So
you are a resident of Los Angeles, California, and you have a large platform on this app on the internet, and you have decided, you have made the conscious choice to not speak out against the ICE raids that are taking place in this city right now, the attack that Los Angeles is feeling in this moment, if you're not sticking your head out for your own community, the city of Los Angeles in which you live, that you benefit so much from, if you can't do that, you do not deserve your platform.
Are y'all just afraid to not have somebody who's going to pick the berries that go into your smoothie? Is that what this is really about? Like, beyond the virtue signal, is it because you're terrified that Maria and Jose will no longer be able to work basically for slave wages in order to make sure that your Whole Foods is fully stocked with blueberries? Make it make sense.
And maybe you should fucking move.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but being undocumented isn't a crime. You're just racist.
They're brain dead. No, I'm realizing it now. No. So we have mental illness, misery, but also just pure and utter, that the brains are dead. She just said that, let me get off the screen. I'm getting hives from that. So if you are not born in this country, but then you are invited into this country, right? You have documents. Those documents, whether they be a visa, green card, or just, outright naturalization, which is still a process, that makes you legal, not criminal. When you come to this country, whether you're born here or not, and you don't have those papers, right? Your parents maybe came here, then had you here. They are undocumented. Because, they like to talk about this birthright citizenship, etc. That was created for black folks. Let's be real. There was no mass invasion that took place. It was made for black Americans who were enslaved. Simple. It's true. It's truly that simple. That's the history. That's it. There's nothing else to it. So if you don't have documents, that makes you undocumented, which means that you are illegally in this country. Whether you're a good person, bad person, commit crimes, or just trying to take care of your family, it's still a crime. That's the whole point. It's still a crime. And in almost every other country, I'm talking about third world countries, have these sort of laws in place.
See you in hell.
Cooked.
I think it's important to remember that though what Trump is doing in LA is absolutely deranged and incredibly fucked up, it is an act of desperation. The people behind all this, though it may seem very calculated, are not smart.
California does not really belong to the United States.
It's always 20-year-old girls or your grandmama's grandmama, right? Who's still watching MSDNC, etc. She's at the old folks home. They're bussing her out for like a field trip and they take them to the Soros protest. Or this guy, the male feminist, the guy who uses this as a means to liberal legs. I'll just say that. To the liberal Kootenan. That's what he's in it for, unless he's, part of the community.
It belongs to Mexico, and we stole it from them in 1850.
They lost.
People would not have to be protesting if what was going on in this country was even a little bit normal. Instead of thinking about what's going on, think about what has been going on that causes something like this to go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 15 to 20 million illegal aliens coming into our country. That might have been the causation. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I would do absolutely anything for my daughter, and that includes going to a different country to give her a better life. And being undocumented is not a criminal offense. It's a civil one. And if you've ever jaywalked, congratulations, because you've also committed a civil offense. And you're so worried about criminals being in this country, yet you voted for one to run it.
This is one of those moments where silence feels really fucking loud, because what do you mean you're not absolutely horrified by what's happening right now? If you are not absolutely horrified by what's going on right now, your delusion.
I've seen videos of children being separated from their families.
I can't make this up, folks. It is all 20-something-year-old white girls from the suburbs. Look at the homes they're living in. I'm looking at everything. You know me, I peep. I want to send Jose, Maria, Jorge. I want to send every single one of them over to one of the, just each of them get 3 to 4 immigrants to house in your home so we can see just how far your compassion truly extends. Let's do that. That's what I'm going to do, because I can't really take much more of this here, right? I'm getting dumber by the second, but let's just try that out. Let's just try that out, shall we? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3, 6, 5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.